All right, hey everyone, Christian here from CK Wraps. Today we're going to wrap the front bumper on this Camaro. If you want to see more videos, please check out our Instagram for detailed pictures and videos. Also the completed projects. I'll start trying to post completed projects on YouTube, but we do have a lot of them on Instagram. And please subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. So today we're doing the front bumper on this. You can see the paint condition is extremely bad. There's been a lot of body work done. I'm not really sure how the film is going to stick to this surface because it's not a very high energy surface. It is still smooth, but it's just a bit soft. It doesn't have that kind of stickiness that the paint does. So it's just a little too smooth. We're going to find out. I do not recommend wrapping over surfaces like this, but this is what the customer wants right now, so this is what we're going to do. We also have a car show coming up this weekend that this needs to be ready for. So we're going to get this done. So what we've done here is we've done inlays in under the headlights, and we've put down knifeless tape again so that we can cut that inlay, cut the piece out afterwards and have a nice clean edge once we overlap this line. Again, we've just left a little bit of overlap, maybe 1/8 of an inch, and that's about it. So again, we're just going to do that, and we're going to have complete coverage there. The rest of the bumper is pretty straightforward, shouldn't have any issues with it. Like I said, it may not stick, we're going to find out. So let's do this. I already got the piece cut. The surface is already prepped with isopropyl alcohol. I've blown everything away with a compressor. I mean, there are some imperfections in it still, but it's as smooth as it'll get. Alright, so get your magnets handy. Put 2 on each side. As you can see, we've also removed the grills. This makes it a lot easier to be able to push the vinyl in. Once we trim across the top here, this flap is just going to fold right in, which is perfect. Once we glass this out across, it's going to fold right in. Same thing around the bottom here, except for we have sides here that may cause some tension. But we're going to cut really close to the sides because the grill comes right out to the side, and we shouldn't have any issues. Just see, this bumper is pretty rough, so I'm just making sure it's as good as possible. I don't know what, I just saw some stuff on it, so. Alright. So we're going to take the film and roll it out across the front bumper. This is an exceptionally large front bumper, top to bottom. It's taller than 30 inches because if we come in and under and over top, we're taller than 30 inches here. So we've got about 34 inches. Luckily, the rear bumper is like 25 inches. So we actually have 35 inches here. Luckily, the rear bumper is 25 inches because that gave us about 35 for the front, which is perfect. So we're going to make sure we have full coverage, obviously top and bottom. Make sure this is placed where we need it. And this is actually a really weird bumper to do too because of how flat it goes right in this section here across the top and across the side. So there's going to be a lot of tension and stretch this way. We're going to try to alleviate most of that by doing it properly, but it's still going to have a bunch. So make sure we're good there. We're good there. It's close. So so I want to hold that there like that. I'm going to trim off some of this excess. I don't need all of it. It'll just end up getting in the way. I take the extra pieces and put them in the car. I saw someone ask the question the other day, and I usually mention this in the videos, just to keep them in a safe place until we either dispose of them or we use them for like a mirror or a door handle or a trim piece or whatever it might be. So good to keep them to the side somewhere. They always come in handy every once in a while. That way you don't have to trim something off. You're always going to have tons of scrap pieces by the end. That's just a part of the game. So, just wanted to get the heat gun ready, set on the right setting. So again, we're going to peel the backing off. Try to keep this as level as possible. This is a challenging bumper, kind of like a Mustang front bumper. That's pretty challenging as well. Those aren't all that fun to do. Even the last two generations, the last three generations of Mustangs, all the Mustangs actually are not that easy to do. So just want to make sure we're good. Kind of right there. Vinyl's going to want to do funny things because how pointy that front end is. It's just an awkward bumper, all right? So we're just going to kind of get this set into a position that works. If you have an extra set of hands to help you, amazing. It would be a lot easier. So I'm going to make sure we're set top and bottom. Got to come lower. There is a front lip that goes on this, so it'll cover that. Good. Try not to let that happen. It does happen sometimes. So we're just barely there on the top. It's even at, like I said, 35 inches, it's still almost too small, so, but it's fine. All right, we should be good down here now. If you needed to, you can always do an inlay underneath the bumper. We won't need to. Alright, so this is the fun part, doing this by yourself. So we're going to have to glass it out and stretch it across this way because we need it to conform to the front end of the vehicle. Let's get that going. Get the chair out of the way. And as you notice, this top piece falls down, which is a pain. Huge pain. So we're going to add some heat. More of the stretch is probably going to come across the top here and right around here. There's going to be some across the bottom, but not a whole lot. It does maintain itself. It's fairly level. There. So not too bad. The first shot was pretty good. It's about where I'd like it. We're going to have to work it more continuously this way. Let's get this down a bit. Super close. This is exactly how close it was last time. Okay. What I'm going to do is kind of hinge this a little bit because we're going to do the other side eventually, but I'm going to put some of this down right now. Always working from the middle out. It's kind of a good thing that the film doesn't stick to this right now very well at all. I can actually feel that it's super easy to move around. So good and bad. kind of leave it right around there. But shrink this back a little bit. So I just want to shrink that back a little bit. And we're going to finish off this side here. I don't want to heat it too much because that'll cause us to overstretch it. So we don't want to overstretch it, we just want to stretch it enough that we can get it where we need it. So when we glass this part right here, we're going to have to spread it out quite a bit. Okay. All these wrinkles can now come up. See if I can get that one out right there. Let's do this. And we'll take the film and pull it up this way. Great. All right. Very challenging, guys, all right? This is not an easy bumper to do by any means. Okay, we're almost there. I'm going to relax all of this right now. Get some of this out first, and then I'm going to start relaxing these edges up here. Kind of just falls down on its own. Again, I want to relax this edge. Okay. Perfect. This side's almost good. We're going to start doing the other side right now. So we've got it attached to itself a little bit right there. Let's get that separated. Okay. Gotta go back about here. And I'm going to start heating and holding that out. Again, if you have an extra set of hands, amazing. relax this guy out right here, see how it goes. Alright. Pretty much just makes it on the top. Just cutting it really close. As you might notice, the bumper is still a little loose. I only flipped it into a couple of places. So what I want to do here, because I have a lot of stretch here right now, is take this, hold it up, heat it, and let it relax. Now watch, I'm just letting go of it for the most part. And it's just going to fall down. So at that point, what I kind of want to do is I want to hold it up a little bit so I can keep the wrinkles away. But now it's relaxed. So we're not worried about excess strain on the film at these edges. See, very little to no pullback right now over here after I heated it. This tube is in my way. It's fine. We're at the edge. There's no quick prop, so we gotta improvise sometimes. All right, so this looks pretty good. Keep the air. Let's get it going. Let's get it out of here. Again, we got your this side. You kind of want to work it to about this point usually. Just kind of before the bend. So somewhere around here, here's the bend right here, and just kind of work it somewhere around from here to here. So you can see by pulling across that the film just comes up over the top. Once I cut this out, all this is going to just flap right in there. And that's exactly what you want to happen. That's just, it's going to do a natural thing and just go and pull itself in. Okay, let's get it to about there. Probably good enough. Keep it spread out. Okay. Whew. Magnets in the way. That. So again, we kind of gotta come back a bit here. So we're gonna come down on an angle like this from the corner. Found my pocket here. All right. That's probably enough. I'm gonna take the film and spread it out and go this way also. Going this way, you can kind of lean into it a little bit. That's what I want. Again, we're going to pre-shrink some of that right up here before we lay it all down. All right. I don't want anything pulling up, and neither do you. Down here. Doing that little bit of heat on the ends there ensures that this wrap's never just going to peel up from the edges. If you don't pre-shrink like an inch or two of this, there's going to be too much tension. If you have tension all the way to the edge and you cut it here, it's just going to want to pull back. You can attempt to post-heat it and kill the memory in it, but that is still risky. So if you don't post-heat it enough or it decides to pull back on you, it can still pull back on you. So you've got to be careful. There's still a risk involved. All right. So I'm going to start finishing off this side over here. Kind of hold it out. We always hold it out when we add a bit of heat. We don't want to kill the film, we just want to manipulate it. Just going to outline that a little bit there. So my inlay is going to go right about there. I've got to finish off the bottom here. So down here, I'm going to want to alleviate a bit of tension and kind of lay this in, especially since there's like no paint here, so it's not even sticking that well. I don't even know how it's going to work. Like it's pretty rough down here, so it's already kind of not sticking. So I'm gonna make do with what I have and use techniques that reduce tension on the film. So I'm shrinking it back. It's really kind of unfortunate, but probably, I don't know, it might last a while, who knows, but my guess is that this will last maybe a couple of weeks in this pocket here. We'll see. Okay, so now that I found the edge here, I'm going to put a relief cut. Helps. You're using tweezers to grab it, but you can do that. So put a relief cut. Should be a little bit better right now. We'll see. Let's add a little more heat and see what happens. I'm going to finish this off over here because I want to before I start cutting away too much stuff over there. Just about at the end here. Again, we have too much film. Cut some off. Okay. So again, for those of you who have like primered bumpers or surfaces, I really don't recommend wrapping them. It doesn't hold up. It's not, the film doesn't stick very well with this kind of stuff. So, and more so if you're more beginner at it, it's just going to be a really tough time. Because you won't really know how to apply the film while it has, so it has less tension in it. Let's make sure we're good. All right. All right. So what I'm trying to do here is stretch it across and in. As opposed to stretching a little bit at a time, I'm trying to do a larger section. Once I'm able to get this, it's just kind of, it's an odd pocket. You have to go up and in here, kind of like this. I'm not stretching the film that much. I'm just trying to get it so that the wrinkles, I'm able to work the wrinkles out. It's really difficult to work the wrinkles out in this corner. Once I can get this down a certain point, I can create a relief cut along this inner edge right here. Okay, so that helps a bit now. Now I can push down a little bit better. There's still tension. I'm just trying to relax it a bit before I go at it. I'm going to full seat a lot of this. It's awkward working in here. So one thing that I want to mention is that every time before you decide to stretch the film, make sure you heat the film and relax it before stretching it again. That way you know that you're not adding stretch on top of stretch. Yeah, super close down here. Doesn't even stick at all. There's like literally no grab over here, which is pretty bad. It's not going to lift off, but I can only go so far with it. So it's a good thing it's not a white car, and it's a good thing that it's getting a front lip. Okay. want to show you is the headlight area. Nice here. So, I'm going to leave a little excess film. I'm leaving about a half an inch or so. Just my hand sticking to the, that's my hand sticking to the film. Use my finger on the edge as a guide, but look how that pulls itself in, right? Super important that it does that because it's just creating its own grab on the inside here. If I add a little heat, it'll shrink it all. If I add a little heat, it'll shrink it all down. So, now, get this out of the way. Normally I would cut that off in one swoop, but I want to show you how we're going to do this, the inlay that's here right now. Slack here, there we go. I'm just going to cut out some of this excess film. I'm cutting right in the air pocket. Get that out of the way. Don't want to cut the headlights, so just get that out of the way. And let's take a bit of heat. All right. So we've overlapped that edge. I have the string right here for the knife is tape. Take it, same as usual when it comes to cutting. Take it. Once I get started. Yeah, not at all. Perfect. Let's get the rest of the knife is tape out of there. There we go. Another piece here. Alright. So we have, I'm going to show you this afterwards, we stay to the end of the video. We have about 1/8 of an inch overlap there. So a little wider here in the corner just to account for some tension, just in case there's some tension, but we've got 1/8 of an inch overlap. This one, that one, the knife tape is messed up right now, so I'll just freehand that, it's not a big deal. Like I said, the paint's already damaged. I'm going to finish off this side here, and then we'll cut out the rest, and that'll be it. So, add a little heat, get it relaxed. Kind of just see what it wants to do. It's come down because that seems to be the better angle right now. All right. I have way too much film here. So having too much film too far away from the ends is not a good thing because It doesn't allow you, I mean, we're not going to put our hands behind it still, and grab on it, but we need to get our hands closer to it so that we can spread it out a little bit better with our hands. To relax this a bit differently here. Kind of come up around the corner a little bit. Relax it. I just added a bunch of stretch. Perfect. Relax this now. Okay. So despite glassing the bumper initially, we end up moving a lot of it around anyways. You might ask, well, why glass it? Because it's going to actually help you start the bumper when you can see how everything looks better. You can see better how everything's positioned for the most part. So I'm going to pull up here and just come up with my hand and let it go in to the recess by itself. Okay. See how we're doing here. So I got a wrinkle here. I need to push in the back. So you can now take your time. And this is kind of why you remove the grills too, because you have access to do stuff like that. So I'm just outlining here. Again, I screwed it up a little bit. Because I don't have a wrap glove on. Alright, this is fine. So it's not really sticking a lot here because of the surface, but I'll be able to cut most of that away and then kind of just drop this into there. So take the rest of this gun over here. Okay. Oh. Perfect. All right. Whew. Let's do this. All right. Let's see where the camera is. All right, so you can see from there. I just want to take it and heat it a little bit and kind of just work it in there. But I'm stretching the whole piece in there. I'm not just, and then I'm just working it while kind of keeping it in a glass state by adding tension to it. Okay. Next, I'm going to work the side piece so I can create my relief cut for the rest of it. There's not too much tension here. Out of the way and create our relief cut. It's going to help a bit down here. So as you can see, I'm pulling in while squeezing in. I'm just using my fingers for this because it's a lot easier. It would be kind of nice if more of the, I already removed the housing from here, but there's another housing behind here which is actually mounted to the bumper. Makes it a little bit more difficult, but at least it's better than leaving the other housing there. You can still kind of reach in there. All right. Now, let's do this section here. So I'll cut a lot lower because I know that I don't have to flap, like hold this flap in that far. So I'm going to cut and leave like an inch, sorry about the noise, an inch or so. Little soft bubble there. See the back, shrink it, see it just shrinks back around. Let's continue. Alright. So, all this again wants to just fold in. I just shrank all this right here, so that helps a lot because it wasn't really sticky. It's not sticky at all here, right over here. It's just not sticking here. Having a bit of an issue with it. But it's fine now. We're good. The fact that it's not sticking, it kind of really just tests the skill level because you've got to make it basically hug that area, hug that surface on its own. So that'll have a lot to do with your pre-stretch and shrinking everything back around. All right, we're good. Finally. Perfect. Let's shrink all this. Okay. There's the edge there, right up top. I need to get this in here. So find it. Alright, so there it is. Perfect. Put a relief cut right there. I have to trim all this off in here really close because the grill, when we go to put it back in, we'll actually push it all back out. So we don't want that. Shrink that back. Let's make sure we get air out of there. Yeah, I'm watching my squeegee. I'm squeegeeing basically straight across. I'm not going like this. I'm cutting it with the squeegee basically. It's like slices. Perfect. Oh, let's trim off the extra. Right. That's out of the way. We gotta finish up over here still. Alright. So this whole top edge just shrunk itself underneath automatically. And this one here. Can't use the knifeless tape because it's kind of bent out of shape, so I'm actually just going to try to get it out of there. And I'm going to freehand this one. So I'll show you when we freehand how gentle. It's really going to be hard to tell on camera, I guess, but how gentle you want to be. So I'm going to put a relief cut right here in the space so that I can get the film down just a bit around the edge a little more. You can see that edge a little bit more clearly. Before I do anything, I'm going to just finish off this bit because I'm going to snap off a fresh blade. And I'll tell you why we're going to snap off a fresh blade when we cut on top of things, is that when we snap off a fresh blade, we know that we don't have to push hard anymore. So if your blade has been dulling and you've been using it for a while, snap one off before you're going to cut on top of anything. That way, it's just kind of nice, soft, it's very soft pressure when you're cutting. Cut this out. Cool. Now I'm going to snap the blade off. So, alright, so snap the blade off. I'm going to start wherever I'm comfortable, and then we go very slowly with the tip of the blade and keep my eye on the edge. I prefer to move my whole arm as opposed to just my wrist. Just pushing very gently. Try not to take your blade off also, so that way you can keep your line. That should be it. This inlay that we did underneath, it's on a part of the car that the paint, there's no paint basically. So the inlay, I was more concerned about the inlay lifting off, but it didn't, so we're good. We can trim all this out of here now. So this is, like I said, this is one of the, it's kind of a difficult bumper. It's interesting. It's just different in its own way. It's not terrible. We got it done, I think, in a reasonable amount of time. I'm going to take this. I leave about 1/8 of an inch to roll around. If it was white, I would probably leave a little bit more. I mean, it just kind of depends on the car that you're doing as far as the canvas goes and what the base color is. But you don't need to leave a lot on around your edges. If you're confident in your work, if you're not confident in your work and you're a beginner, leave a little bit more around the edges. But if you're relaxing all your edges, then nothing's ever going to lift. We had a chrome wrapped car. It's been wrapped for over a year now in Vivid, and it just won. A pretty massive car show in Toronto, and the wrap's a year old. His competitor was actually had an impressive car as well in the same class, and wide body everything, and had auto dip, and he didn't win. So I'm not sure why, but that wrap was still going strong. So yeah, even a year later with chrome, and chrome was probably one of the more delicate and high maintenance finishes, the wrap was still great. All right, so I'm just going to trim off the sides and stuff afterwards. You can see how the front looks. I'll show you around with the camera right now. So you're going to see the inlays. This is the line right here. It's really difficult to see. Okay? So it's super clean. Again, we'll go show you this one over here. This is the one I freehanded. All right. Just fingerprints. And this color is Vivid XPO Matte Metallic Black. So this is the new matte. I'll show you the rest of the car. Car's done. It's just that was the last piece. We gotta put the spoiler back on, and that's it. So, but yeah, we're just gonna trim out all that stuff right there. Easy stuff. If you guys can do the front, you can for sure do the sides. Always making sure that you have full coverage. All right. And that's gonna be it. All right, so I hope you enjoyed that one. I know you wanted to see how we do the other part of the aftermath of the inlay, I suppose, the overlay. That would be the overlay. So that kind of explains it a little bit better, and that's kind of how you would do it on other cars as well. You have to find places that need it in areas like that. Pay attention to when you're wrapping the vehicle, because there are a lot of bumpers, especially front ones, that do require stuff like that. If you guys want to see more videos, check out our Instagram, click subscribe, whatever. We really appreciate it, and I'll keep posting them. Thanks. Take care.